health or about your life, or about relationships or about the things that the great billionaires do. You will start to upgrade and dial in your awareness so tomorrow morning you can start making the better choices that are going to give you better results. Now, you might be saying, Robin, I don't quite understand how powerful this model is. Here is what my top clients have told me. They said, Robin, this simple model, once I studied it, once I thought about it, once I watched, your training over and over around it, something shifted within me. And I really understood what a game changer it was. And so I really want you to slow down and think about what I've shared with you. With the 3-step success formula, with better awareness, you can make better choices or decisions. And with better choices, you're going to see better results. And that brings us to the second model I want to share with you. And I'm absolutely amped to share this one with you because it is very powerful. And it is the habit installation protocol. So when I travel the world and I meet people on airplanes, or I meet people in airports or at live events or on the streets or in hotels, one of the things they say to me is, Robin, how can we take the learning that we embrace, whether it's on morning routine, whether it's on productivity, whether it's on being more successful in their work, maybe it's on spirituality. They say, Robin, we want to install new habits, but we struggle. That's the word I often hear. We struggle. And so what I have done is, over the past number of years, I have handcrafted a model that will walk you right now through a 66-day process on how the pros install routines that last. And it's based on neuroscience and it's based on research. Now, here's the key thing. What makes a legend isn't their natural talent. What makes a legend or a hero is their daily habit or their daily routines. I'm going to repeat that again because it's really powerful. We look at a Picasso or a Beethoven. We look at a Federer or a Steve Jobs. We look at the best of the best. We look at a Nelson Mandela, a Mother Teresa. And what we think is, we say these people were gifted. And that's the myth that society and the media sells to us. Actually, what made the great ones was what they did every day. In other words, their daily habits. And so this model is called the Habit Installation Protocol. It's going to show you exactly how the pros install routines and rituals that last. Let's get right into it. The research of University College of London has shown us that it takes 66 days of practicing a new routine to reach the point of what they call automaticity. And automaticity simply means you start to do the routine easily. So let me give you an example, the 5 a.m. club. A lot of people have learned my philosophy that I've been teaching for over 20 years about rising before the sun. And if you rise before the sun, you have that hour of quietude where you can build yourself and you can grow and you can review your game plans and you can meditate and you can exercise to release dopamine so you feel on fire, and you can release cortisol, the fear hormone, so it's 6 o'clock in the morning and you are ready to go out there and change the world. But here's the point. If you wanted to dial in and make rising at 5 a.m. automatic, it'll be a 66-day process according to University College of London. And so that routine will go through, or any routine will go through 3 phases. The first, roughly 22 days, is about destruction. Destruction. You see, you've got to let go of your old routines and install new ones. And so that first 22 days you're destroying your old mindsets, your old belief systems, your old practices, your old habits. You see, one of my famous brain tattoos is this. All change is hard at first, and it's messy in the middle, and it's gorgeous at the end. And so the first 22 days of getting up at 5 a.m., or the first 22 days of turning off your phone at work and being more focused versus distracted, or the first 22 days of being more positive versus toxic, or the first 22 days of spending an hour before you go to sleep meditating, or the first 22 days of not watching the news and reading something amazing, because you become what you read, and your influences, they're going to feel like a destruction. It's almost like a home renovation. You've got to tear down the old foundations before better foundations can be installed. Okay, as you can see from the model, the habit installation protocol, phase number 2, roughly 22 days of the 66-day process of installing any new habit is all about installation. Well, this is where we're installing the new neural architecture of the habit you want to install. If it's the 5 a.m. club, or if it's being more positive to every person that you know, or if it's going the extra mile in your work to being a merchant of wow. This is the messy middle in the brain tattoo. All changes hard at first, messy in the middle, gorgeous at the end. You see, you're not quite to the point of automaticity around the new routine, but you're not destroying old patterns. It's right in that 22-day middle. And it's sort of, you're in new territory. You're in the blue ocean. There might be some confusion. There might be some exhaustion. But just remember, if it wasn't messy, it wouldn't be real change. And what the victim does, and I know you're not a victim, but what the victim does is as they encounter difficulty and discomfort, they wave the white flag and they say, well, mom couldn't get up at 5, dad couldn't get up at 5, grandpa couldn't get up at 5, I guess I don't have early morning genes. What the victim does is they say, wow, this is hard, boo-hoo. I can't be more positive. I can't be better at my craft. I can't have more energy by exercising daily. You see, it's that mentality of can't I mentioned in the first video, and so they stop installing the right routine. Here is a key point to remember in this middle phase of the habit installation protocol. Just because you couldn't do something before doesn't mean you can't do it now. And also remember, world class is not an event, it's a process that takes about 66 days. See, a lot of people say, I can't do this new routine. It's not because they couldn't do the new routine. It's because they didn't stay with it for 66 days to allow their brain and their body to wire in and recode the new habit. So, after phase number 1, which is destruction, after phase number 2, installation, you're going to get to the final phase of habit installation, which is all about integration. Now, this is the brain tattoo. All changes hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. Now you're on the short roads. Now it starts getting easier. And at the end of approximately 66 days, according to the research, the new habit will now become easier to do than not to do. I mean, just think about it. Anything that you're really great at was once hard. So another thing to remember is all professionals begin as amateurs, and every master was once a beginner. Go through this 66-day process, and eventually you're going to get to the 60-day automaticity point where getting up at 5, or being the most positive, generous person you know, or dialing in a daily routine, or working like Picasso painted, or turning off the news and reading something good, or spending more time with your family every night. Maybe it's a private meal or a family dinner. It will become easier to do the new routine or new habit than not to do it. You see, you are built to embrace new habits. It just takes the process I've walked you through. Well, before I end this second training video, where I've walked you through the 3-step success formula and the habit installation protocol, I want to applaud you. You know, the world needs more heroes, and why wait for them when you have it in you to become one of them? If you look around the world right now, there's so much uncertainty. There's so much volatility. And Gandhi said it so beautifully. He said, be the change you want to see in the world.